Hi, my name is Daniel Freij and I work as a Senior Solutions Architect with Apica. Today I'm going to be talking about safeguarding IT with service level assurance and how Apica can help you there. During COVID, there has been a significant increase in advanced authentication requirements to business-critical applications. With a dramatic shift to remote working without the benefits of VPNs, MFA, and other complex authentication security measures were rolled out with lightning speed. Additional budget was allocated to security, but did that also include funding to ensure proper monitoring? That is not always the case, and exceptions taken to enable monitoring under those circumstances can end up hurting you in the long run. Now, with additional focus on security, there has been an increase in security gates throughout this process. And while users receive instructions on how to make use of all of these different authentication methods implemented, it can sometimes be complex when you're trying to automate this behavior from a monitoring perspective, and your security implications quickly become a speed bump in your implementation process. Historically, teams organized the monitoring tasks based on the application themselves rather than business flows. Therefore, adding additional authentication methods may not raise a red flag that this seemingly efficient process might be making it easier to breach mission-critical transactions. Without additional tools or training, monitoring business-critical transactions with secured speed bumps may open up the window for bad actors, especially if teams unknowingly use unsecure methods such as introducing blind spots, bypasses, or pure backdoors into the applications. One very good example is the introduction of blind spots. You simply give up on monitoring the full transaction, so you end up missing all the information that might have indications that something is wrong, simply because the authentication is too hard or the environment is too complex. The second example is broken transactions. Introduction of blind spots and the misrepresentation of data. The delay of your transaction might be well within its limits, but you're not including all of the steps. So you're polluting your data pool and you cannot rely on this information really. And this usually happens when you've started looking at monitoring business transactions, but you cannot execute technically against them. The third and most dangerous example of this is the introduction of backdoors. This is something that happens in some cases where gaining observability into a application is more important than actually adhering to the security requirements for it. This can mean that you're bypassing a MFA authentication challenge or a smart card challenge because your monitoring technology simply doesn't support it. So what is the correct way to monitor complex business transactions with authentication? It means that the monitoring needs to be compliant as well. If you require smart card authentication and MFA authentication to complete a mission-critical transaction, then your testing need to test that as well from that perspective and include those challenges in the test to verify if they're functional or not. Finding other ways to do it than actually addressing these steps head-on will introduce risk into your process, either that you don't see what's happening or that you're actually causing possible problems. So focus on end-user experience with real-time testing and monitoring of any mission-critical transaction from secure endpoints through an unlimited number of secure applications or APIs necessary to complete it. With the Apica service level assurance, you get enablement around analytics, business outcome metrics, and ITSM, proactive incident management. Thanks for your time. Feel free to reach out and book a free workshop with us today.